I fed you at my table, I shared my only bread. Now you're the one who wanna see me bleeding and dead. You took my secrets and you turned them into gold. Selling out my spirit for the stories that you told. I saw the smile on your face, but the knot was in your sleeve. Giving me a million different reasons to believe I was the brother, the one who had your back. Now I'm the victim of your cold and dark attack. The goozing is weeping for the trust that I lost, for the bridge that I burned and the river that I crossed. I took the betrayal and I made it my skill, forging a heart that no longer can feel. I don't need your sorry, I don't need your plea. I'm cutting every chain that connects you to me. Every single whisper that you spread about my name is just another spark to my everlasting flame. You had slain, rising from the ashes in the shadow in the rain. The lies you were telling, they only made me strong, proving every single one of your predictions was wrong. Nobody cares about the tears that you fake, or the hollow promises you're starting to make. They only care about the man who survived, and the fire in the soul that is finally revived. Thank you for the lesson, it was worth the price. To see the cold venom in your heart of ice. I'm the lord of the shadows, the god of the grind, leaving every single snake and a traitor behind. One more rap for the brother of the die, for the king of the truth and the master of the pride. Drip over your own lies. Drip over your own lies. Don't trip over your own lies. Trip over your own lies. I don't get mad, I just get better.
That I touched, always left a bitter track. They laughed in my face, yeah, they spat on my name, leaving me alone in the middle of the shame. I was the joke, the one when they like to break. Every single promise was a lie and a fake. Pushed to the corner, left in the cold. The story of a victim that was never even told. I felt the pressure, felt the weight on my chest, while the world was busy putting me to the ultimate test. They saw my silence and they thought I was weak, but the monsters inside me were starting to speak. Every insult they threw was a brick in my wall. I'm building up a kingdom and I'm standing so tall. Let them look down, let them keep up the hate. I'm the master of my soul and the master of my fate. Look at me now, look deep in my eyes, see the fire that was born from the ocean of lies. The more they look down, the more that I rise, with the darkness of the past is the ultimate prize. Nobody cares about the blood that I bled, or the nights that I spent with a ghost in my head. They only care when the giant is awake, and the entire world starts to shiver and shake. To the ones who betrayed, to the ones who walked out, thank you for the pain, name, thank you for the doubt. You thought you were killing me, but you made me your king. Now watch the total dominance that I'm about to bring. One more rep for the boy who was hurt, whose name was once written in the mud and the dirt.
Stay in the shadows, let your sense be the noise.
silent judgment, the clever little lies. You'll never be like him, you're a waste of the name. Every word was a match setting fire to my shame. My friends turned to ghosts, my family turned cold, leaving me with a future that was already sold. I was the shadow at the back of the room, the one they predicted would meet an early doom. I took every insult, I swallowed the pride. I kept all the demons locked up deep inside. They thought I was broken, they thought I was done, but I was just waiting for my time in the sun. Every note was a blessing, every laugh was a gift. I felt the tectonic plates, so my soul started to shift. I started to work when the world went to sleep, in a silence so dark and a focus so deep. Look at the scars, I built this empire beneath the cold stars. The ones who look down, now they're looking up high, watching the titan take over the sky. Nobody cares about the nights that I cried, or the part of my soul that was buried and died. They only see power, they only see might, born from the struggle and born from the fight. To the ones who dismiss me, I'm sending the thanks for helping me rise to the warrior ranks. Your hate was the fuel, yo, that was the key that unlocked the monster inside of me. One more rep for the kid who was told he's a fail. Now watch as I rewrite the end of the tale. Nobody cares.
I was the one they left behind in the rain, the one who was drowning in the ocean of pain. I called for help, but the world went deaf. I was counting my heartbeats, counting my breath. Betrayed by the blood, betrayed by the trust. Left in the corner to rot in the rust. They looked at my struggle and they started to sneer, thinking I was finished, thinking I was clear. But the silence of the desert is where I found home. Building up a mountain on the ground where I roam. I took the betrayal and I made it a blade, sharpening my spirit in the back of the shade. I don't need a hand, I don't need a light. I learned how to see in the middle of night. Every tear that I shed turned to iron and lead inside of the person they thought was already dead. Look at the king that was born from the dust, with a heart made of gold and a soul you can't trust. The ones who walked out, now they're knocking on the gate, but the locks are all changed and it's already late. Nobody cares about the nights I was shunned, or the years that I spent being lonely and stunned. They only see the crown, they only see the gold, but they don't know the price of story I hold. Thank you for the cold, thank you for the dark. Gave me the fire, gave me the spark. You thought you were leaving me to suffer and die, but you gave me the wings that I needed to fly. One more rap for the one who was left, whose heart was a victim of a cold-blooded death. Nobody cares.
Let them keep the comfort, I'll keep the home. The loneliest police to the highest peak. Let them keep the comfort, I'll keep the home. The loneliest police to the highest peak.
About your pain, make them care about your success.
The room went silent when I lost it all, watching the people I love waiting for my fall. They didn't just leave, they took the light away, leaving me to ride in the cold and the gray. I heard the whispers, I felt a sharp knife of the ones who promised to be there for life. Left like a ghost in a house made of glass, watching the shadows of my old self pass. I sat in the dark till the dark felt like home, a king with no crown on a broken down throne. The dark is crying for the boy that I killed, while the monster inside me is starting to build. I took every teardrop and turned it to lead, inside of the person you left for the dead. You gave me the silence, you gave me the hate. Now you're the ones who were trapped at the gate. now? Do I look like a wreck? Or the heavy duty iron around my own neck? I built this power in the middle of hell, with a story that only the winners can tell. Nobody cares about the days you were weak, or the comfort and mercy you tried to seek. They only care about the height of the wall, and the way you refuse to ever stay small. Success is the ghost that will haunt to your peers, the ultimate weapon that's born from the tears. I don't need your sorry, I don't need your hand. I'm the only master of this godless land. One more rep for the heart that was torn. This is the day that the legend is born. Nobody cares, nobody cares, nobody cares. I remember the no, I remember the door. The way they looked at me like I was a floor. Step on my spirit, step on my name, leaving me drowning in the middle of shame. You aren't enough, you don't have the skill. They try to break me, they tried to kill the will. I was the underdog, the last one in line, watching the world while I waited for mine. The Cello was playing the song of the hurt for the man who was treated like nothing but dirt. I took every no and I turned it to weight. I'm building the power that's making me great. I don't need your mercy, I don't need your grace. I'm running this marathon at my own pace. Every single scar is a badge on my chest, preparing my soul for the ultimate test. Look at the version of me that you made, a monster of focus that's born in the shade. Now you're the one who was asking for time, while I'm at the summit, starting my climb. Nobody cares about the rejection you felt, with the cold-hearted cards that the universe dealt. They only care when the work starts to show, when the fire inside starts to flicker and glow. Thank you for the no, it was all that I needed, to see that the garden of greatness was seeded. I'm king of the lonely, the god of the grind, leaving every single hater behind. One more breath for the door that was slammed in the face of the boy that the world had damned. Work harder. Nobody cares.
Your character, what you do when they aren't looking. Let them believe the lie while you build the truth.
I heard the whispers before I saw the face. A million lies spreading all over the place. They pointed the finger, they called me the snake. Every single word was a poison and fake. I looked for a friend but the room was so cold, believing the story that the haters had told. I was the villain in the movie they wrote, while I was the one with the knife in my throat. The violence cry for the truth, they ignore for the silent warrior and the broken down sword. I didn't defend and I didn't even speak, because only the ones who are guilty are weak. I took all the arrows, they shot at my name, and I made them the fuel to ignite my own flame. Every single room is a step on my stair, building my tower in the middle of nowhere.
So
Look at the monster you thought you had made. Now he's the master of light and of shade. The lies you were spreading, that gave me the power to rise like a giant in my final hour. Nobody cares about the sorry you say or the light or the truth at the end of the day. They only care about the way that I stand with the world and the future in the palm of my hand. Thank you for the hate, it was all that I sought to finish the battle that I already fought. I'm the king of the silence, the god of the scars, mapping my path out through the cold, lonely stars. One more rep for the lie that you told. Now watch as my legacy starts to unfold.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. 74.
The opposite of success. It's a part of it. I didn't fail, I just found 10,000 ways that didn't work.
I hit the ground so hard I forgot my name. Lost in the dirt, lost in the middle of the shame. I tried to rise but the world pushed me down. Watching me bleed, watching me slowly drown. You want a winner, you don't have the soul. Every mistake started taking its toll. I was the loser, the one who always failed. Living my life in a self-made hell.
The hurdy-gurdy is spinning the song of the grind, leaving the weakness and the failures behind. I took every loss and I made it a stone. Building a castle to die, rule on my own. I don't need the luck, I don't need the odds. I'm fighting the demons and I'm fighting the gods. Every single crash is a spark in the dark, leaving on my spirit an everlasting mark.
Look at the man who refused to stay dead with a fire in his heart and a crown on his head. The failures you saw that were just the foundation for the ultimate power and the ultimate station. Nobody cares about how many times you fell or the stories of struggle you wanted to tell. They only care about the way that you stand with the weight of the victory in the palm of your hand.
Thank you for the loss that they made me the beast. Preparing the table for the ultimate feast. I'm the king of the broken and the god of the scars. Rising from the ashes and reach for the stars. One more rep for the times I was beat. Now watch the world rise down on my feet.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody. It's only at the top. Nobody. But the view is better than the bottom.
I'll build this castle with the bricks made of no. I'll build this castle with the bricks made of
It's only at the top. It's only at the top.
I built this castle with the bricks they threw. I'd rather be alone on the throne. I built this castle with the bricks they threw. I'd rather be alone on the throne, surrounded in the cane. I built this castle with the bricks they threw. Now they go looking for a way to get through. They used to laugh when I was down in the dirt. Now they go hiding for the fear, but the hurt. The fist can the enemy, the love turn to hate. Watching me browse when it's stuck at the gate. I'm the king of the mountain, but the air's so thin. Battling the world and the aim is within.
No nigga vibe with the view is better than the bottom. I'd rather be alone on the throne. It's the real.
I built this castle, it's only at the top.
It's only at the top.
It's long. I built this castle with it's only at the top.
I built this castle with the bricks they threw. I built this castle with the bricks they threw.
It's lonely at the top, but the view is better than the bottom.
I'd rather be alone on a throne, than surrounded in the trees.
It's lonely at the top.
I built this castle with the bricks they threw. I built this castle with the bricks they threw. I built this castle with the bricks. With the bricks.
It's lonely at the top. I built this castle with the bricks they threw.
If you want peace, prepare for war. I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with me.
I see the shadow circle around the flame, ready to strike and to bury my name. The walls are closing in the skies turning red with a million different wishes that I was finally dead. Back up, coming no light in the sky, just a fire in my heart and a look in my eye. I was the quiet one, the one to get the estimate dead. Now I'm the monster that the hate has created. The tiger was beating the rhythm of the soul of a warrior who's finally taking control. I took the pressure and I made it my strength. I'll go to the edge and I go to the length. I don't need your mercy, I don't need your shield. I'm the only one standing on this battlefield. Every single strike makes the mountains collapse, closing the doors and the hidden up gaps. Look at the army that tried to pull me down. Now they're all bleeding and they're hitting the ground. You thought I was weak because I was alone. Now when the king's sitting high on the throne, nobody cares about the odds that you face or the speed and the power of your winning race. They only care when the battle is won and the work of the warrior is finally done. Thank you for the fight, it made me the man, executing the vision and the ultimate plan. I'm the lord of the war, the god of the grind, leaving every single coward and hater behind. One more rep for the blood on the blade and the light of the sun in the back of the shade. No excuse, no excuse,
I remember the winter, the frost in the air, the way they all looked like they just didn't care. I reached out my hand but I only touched ice, paying for kindness with a heavy duty price. They turned their backs, they let me to freeze in the middle of the storm, in the middle of the breeze. I was the ghost in the middle of the crowd with the silence so deep and the scream so loud.
The liquor lava is screaming for the heart that went cold, for the warrior story that is yet to be told. I took the frost and I made it my skin, preparing for the moment that the victory begins. I don't need your fire, I don't need your light, I learned how to burn in the middle of night. Every single shiver is a muscle that grows, building up a power that nobody knows.
Look at the version of me that is standing so tall, the one who refused to ever crumble or fall. Now you're the one who was looking for heat while I'm at the top and you're on my feet. Nobody cares about the shivering nights or the internal wars and the internal fights. They only care when the ice starts to crack and the king of the winter is finally back.
Thank you for the cold, it was all that I saw, to see that the battle was on.